You bought the cable. It fits. You plug it in, and nothing happens. So you flip it around. Same result. You try a different cable. That one charges but won't transfer files. A third one does both, but only slowly. A fourth one works perfectly, but only with this one specific device. USB-C was supposed to be the last cable you'd ever need. One port, one plug, everything. So why in practice does it feel like the most confusing connector ever made? Today, we break down everything on the unexpected history. When USB-C launched around 2014, the pitch was genuinely exciting. One universal connector that could handle power delivery, high-speed data, video output, and audio, all through a single small reversible plug that you could never insert upside down. On paper, it solved everything. In reality, it created a new problem nobody fully anticipated. The connector became universal, but everything inside the cable did not. Two USB-C cables can look absolutely identical, same plug, same size, same shape, and have completely different capabilities. One might charge at 5 watts, another charge at 100 watts. One carries data at USB 2.0 speeds, the same speed as a cable from 2000. Another screams at 40 gigabits per second. One outputs a 4K video to a monitor. The other does nothing when you try the same thing. The plug is universal. The cable is a mystery box. The root cause is that USB-C is a connector standard, not a capability standard. It defines the physical shape of the plug and socket. It does not define what has to be inside the cable or what the port has to support. Manufacturers can build a USB-C port that supports USB 3.2, Thunderbolt 4, DisplayPort, and 240-watt charging. Or they can build a USB-C port that supports only USB 2.0 and 18-watt charging. Both are technically compliant. Both look identical from the outside. This created a sprawling ecosystem of overlapping, confusingly named standards, all sharing the same physical connector. USB 3.2 Gen 1, USB 3.2 Gen 2x2, USB 4, Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4. Each one has different speeds, different capabilities, different requirements, none of it visible to the naked eye. And cable manufacturers made it worse. To cut costs, many sold USB-C cables with the cheapest internals possible, sometimes not even meeting the basic USB-IF specification, and labeled them simply as USB-C cables, technically accurate, practically useless for anything demanding. Power delivery is where the confusion hits hardest, because the consequences are most visible. USB power delivery, the standard that governs how much power flows through a USB-C cable, theoretically allows up to 240 watts. That's enough to charge a laptop, a monitor, a phone, and a gaming device simultaneously through the right setup. But the wattage a cable can handle depends on its internal wiring and an embedded chip called an E-marker. Cables without an E-marker are capped at 60 watts regardless of what your charger can output. Cheap cables without proper shielding can cause devices to charge slowly, intermittently, or not at all. And because nothing on the cable tells you any of this, you're left doing what everyone does, trying every cable in the drawer until one works, with no idea why. The laptop that charges fine with the cable from your monitor but barely trickles with the one from your phone charger? That's E-marker differences, invisible to everyone. The USB-IF, the organization that manages USB standards, introduced certified cable labeling with icons that indicate speed and power capability. The European Union mandated USB-C as a universal charging standard for consumer electronics, which pushed manufacturers toward clearer compliance. And the introduction of USB 4 began to unify the fragmented speed tiers into a cleaner hierarchy. Apple's full transition to USB-C across its product line, including the iPhone, forced millions of new consumers into the ecosystem, which in turn pressured accessory makers to produce better, more clearly labeled products. Thunderbolt 4 and USB 4 cables are increasingly required to be certified and marked. Premium cables now often display their maximum wattage and data speed directly on the connector housing, a small change that makes an enormous practical difference. It's not fixed, but the industry is finally, reluctantly, starting to label what it sells. The tragedy of USB-C is that the underlying technology is genuinely brilliant. One port that can do everything, power, data, video, audio, is the right idea. The execution just handed consumers a connector that looks the same, whether it's cutting edge or barely functional. until every cable is clearly labeled and every port openly declares its capabilities. The USB-C drawer of mystery cables will remain a fixture in every home, every office, and every bag. One connector to rule them all. One connector to confuse them. Subscribe for more videos that explain the technology you use every day, including why it makes you want to throw it out the window.